Welcome to My Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. Join Larissa and Malerie as they explore biohacking tips for women based on the latest science and research available today. Let them help you unlock your best self. It's time to hack smarter, not harder, together.
Welcome to My Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. Today we are going to talk about our weak spot. When we covered good energy, we both had a weak spot for environmental toxins. So we chose to dive into that next to help improve ourselves. And now we're sharing our knowledge with you.
Yep.
So we learned and researched a lot about environmental toxins. And with everything that we have kind of been learning when it comes to toxin to ingest or environmental toxins, it's almost like a win-lose situation. It's like ignorance is bliss because you can enjoy things, but once you know, you can't go back. And so that has been a huge eye-opener for me. What about you?
Yeah, I would completely have to agree. It's almost an area that I avoided diving into because I knew it was going to be. It was on purpose. I was purposefully ignorant because I was like, once I start, it's just a rabbit hole, and who knows what you're going to find at the bottom of that hole. So I definitely felt like ignorance was bliss. But jumping into it, I'm finding that it was a really big stressor for me. And so actually just looking at the science and figuring out the things that I can actually do to feel like I am doing more for my family to be healthier, doing more for my own health, and understanding that maybe a lot of the issues that I may be having with my hormones, with my energy, with a lot of things might be poor mitochondrial health or poor cellular health because of these environmental toxins that I've been choosing to stick my head in the sand about.
And it is much easier to stick your head in the sand than it is to just address it. And so it's been a game changer for us and in the opening our eyes.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, I'm very proud of myself. I was 9 out of 18 when I took it, when I initially read the book.
And did the quiz at the end.
The quiz at the end. And now I just took the quiz right before this, and I'm now at 14 out of 18.
Yeah.
So you're good environmental toxins if you're 15 out of 18. So the other 4 are, or I don't want to say heavy hitters, but they're a lot more change. So I have to. So I'm working towards that.
One more thing, and you'll be at that spot where
the sweet
Dr. Means was like, at least get to 15 of 18.
Bare minimum.
Okay, look, guys, I was 6 out of 18. So I'm a little afraid to take the test again. So, because I've changed a couple of things, but I don't feel like I've changed it enough.
Yeah.
Like I think you've been able to do a lot more just opportunistically than I have been able to.
Yeah.
So,
it's timing with everything, right? Like I ran out of my dishwasher detergent, so I had to upgrade that. I ran out of my laundry detergent, and I had to upgrade that.
And you've already switched your pans over, so you're already there on that.
Yeah. So it is a learning curve, but I do feel like timing helped me with that whole process in my own personal journey. But anyway, very excited about good energy and very excited that I'm improving my environmental toxins. So now let's dive into our topic today, environmental toxins and what they are. So you kick us off with, what are environmental toxins?
So environmental toxins are things that are either in foods we're ingesting or on surfaces in our environment that are either, ingested or absorbed. Really, the environmental toxins are the ones that might be like absorbed through the skin or inhaled or those sorts of things that would be things like PFAs, like forever chemicals, phthalates.
Which phthalates are usually in makeup, skincare, lotion, sunblock.
Yep, there's parabens. There's so many different chemicals, and Dr. Casey Means in Good Energy talks about how many new chemicals have been created and introduced to the market and to the world just in the last 30 years, right? There's so many. So I just feel like there's always a new toxin to be aware of. And so really what it is, though, is that all of these things can have, effects on your body, on your hormone development, on your, like when we talk about cellular health, like we talk about oxidative stress, that's a very big thing, which is basically where your cells are rusting. Like it does damage to your actual cells. It can do damage to your actual DNA. It's some scary stuff. I don't like that word, oxidative stress, but that is definitely one of the things that happens in our body when we, have too many toxins build up. Our body is built to detox, right? We've talked about that before in our detox episode. But if it gets overwhelmed, if the system gets overwhelmed, then it can't do its job. And that's when a lot of problems start showing up. And I feel like what I've learned from starting to really build some awareness about what is considered toxins, what can be a forever chemical in your body, like all these things. I'm like, there is so much overwhelming our system that really the conversation today is how do we recognize that our systems are overwhelmed and how do we start to change that narrative for ourselves? So that's really our goal today.
And it is something that it seems daunting at first, and really you just have to do one step at a time. Do one thing at a time, and eventually you'll get there.
Yep.
And because every little bit you do, every dollar you save gives you a bigger savings account. Every little change you can help your family become healthier and yourself healthier.
Well, and the real thing is, I think when you find out how like detrimental some of the things can be, you want to just change everything immediately, like we talked about. But it's really just like slowing down. It's okay. I've been exposed to these for my whole life. I don't have to change it tomorrow. I can do this in due course and in a way that's approachable and step by step. I will say that Good Energy, amazing book, love it. Another one that I think gives a really good reasonable approach into making small changes is the book by Jen Stevens, Cleanish,
Yes,
right? And she
yes.
covers like, these are things are here. It's not the end of the world. Like pick and choose the things that matter to you and then clean up the rest. It's very like an approachable way to go about it, I feel
Yeah.
like. So check out her book if you are feeling like you need some more help in this area. It's definitely been a really good read. So between these two books, I feel like it's been a great tool, but in my tool belt. So, you know.
And just to go over some of the consequences that happens when we do digest these, that women's infertility, or couples, I should say, I shouldn't just say
Yeah.
women, women's fertility and couples fertility, it 12 to 15% of couples, they have longer time to get pregnant, so it increases the amount of time they have to try to get pregnant, and their risk, and it gives them a higher risk of miscarriages, which if anybody's ever been to a miscarriage, it's not fun.
Yeah.
So it's higher risk on that.
Yeah.
And then endometriosis, 10 to 15% of women, and PCOS is 15 to 20%. And they're all tied to the makeup line, the phthalates.
The phthalates, the PFAs, the BPAs. And that's interesting because I didn't know that environmental toxins could contribute to endometriosis and PCOS. I think it's always been linked to, in my mind, like hormone imbalances and issues there. But again, that's what environmental toxins can do. They can change they're called like endocrine disruptors, right? Where they
Mhm.
actually introduce other hormones that have hormonal effects that just get you way off balance. And then when you spend a lifetime having too much of one thing or not enough of another, right, it gets your body off balance. And then things like PCOS happen. The other thing that's interesting is all of these things and the oxidative stress in your cells can lead to menopause 2 to 4 years earlier, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's a bummer. Like it's just faster bone loss, earlier heart issues, earlier heart disease risk. It's just
Domino effect.
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy
Yeah.
when you think about the cumulative effect that it's going to have on your health over years, right? Like I certainly don't want to go to menopause 4 years early. Like
Well,
hard pass.
yeah, hard pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting too because they've done even research that they'll test the fetus inside, and they'll find it in the fetus before it's even been
Yeah.
exposed to the environmental toxin.
Like microplastics or like other
Yeah.
chemicals, forever
Yeah,
chemicals.
yeah, and so it's crazy how it's generational. It's starting to affect our generations. So it's not only you have to look out for your own health, but also for your kids' health and their kids' health and their kids' health. So
Yeah.
it's because they're forever chemicals. They stay with you forever.
I know it's really crazy. I do think that there's a lot of research going into trying to figure out how to cleanse us of like the ability to remove microplastics from our system and things like that and forever chemicals and stuff. So I'm hopeful on that. But let's take a second and talk about the heavy hitters. Let's talk about the things that are our number one aggressors when it comes to the environmental toxins that are in your life, in your home, in your, around women specifically, even, right? So we're talking about drinking water. That's one of the biggest ones,
Uh,
which I thought was crazy. It was one of the biggest ones for having PFAs and for having forever chemicals. I think that I think they're the same thing, right? PFAs are forever chemicals.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that one's huge. And then it's your nonstick cookware, your
Mhm.
kitchen pans. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
It is your cosmetics. So
Mhm.
we women, tend to wear so many more skincare items, and all of them You
are
know,
horrible usually.
usually.
They're
mean,
not mandated at all. So usually any
yeah.
skincare, that's why you have to go on the Yuka app or the EWG app and really
Yep.
look at your like I've become very accustomed to those apps in the last
I
couple
know.
of
It's funny
weeks.
because we talk about when I went shopping, but I took Larissa shopping today for makeup, and I was like, "Your birthday's coming up. Let's go shopping." And then I had everybody scanning the makeup products while we were there.
That was
My
depressing.
niece and my daughter, and they were like, "This is 0 out of 100." It was so funny. This one's only a 22. We can't buy that. You know, it was
And
like,
it's crazy because it could be the same brand and
yeah.
one could be okay and then one could be 0. So it's even
Every
like,
product you have to check
yeah, you
because
have to check
to get a
every
different
product
color or a different effect, they could be using different ingredients. And so a company that might be considered a clean ingredient company might be
overall.
using
Yeah.
ingredients in specific products like highlighters or like a tinted moisturizer or something like that that actually is not good for you. Studies have shown it does like endocrine disruption, gut microbiome damage. Like there's
Yeah.
and I just love that you can know exactly what it's doing to your body and that it really gives you the opportunity to make an informed choice.
Yeah.
So,
It empowers you. I can choose that or I can scan until like we did today. We scanned
yeah,
until we found something that was more on the healthier
yeah,
side that would do it, would not be detrimental, less detrimental.
yep, yep. So then the next thing is anything like a lot of your scented household items,
Yeah.
cleaners, laundry detergents, candles, air fresheners. And this is, I think, where I'm the biggest. Those are definitely the biggest regressors in my home because I really love things that smell nice. So I have all
So
the
do I.
room air fresheners and I've got all the really nice smelling. I even had the scented discs, like things that you put in the washer to make your clothes smell even prettier. Like, oh my gosh, it's just like poison, pretty smelling poison. I'm putting it everywhere.
No, that was hard. I actually had to throw away my scents and stuff, but I was like, you know what?
Oh, I know. Yep, that's when
If
I'm
you
in the
look at your
process.
long-term consequences, it's not worth it.
It's really not. It's really not. So then the next one, which I didn't expect, is fast food wrappers and containers. A lot of those like waterproof or like long lasting wraps and things that they're wrapping your food in hot or heating it in and serving to you. Those actually have a ton of toxins.
Oh, just like those the portable coffee cups and the
Yeah.
plastic tops.
So it's
are
it's
horrible.
PFAs and BPAs, like
Yeah.
it's crazy. And so, and then the last one, and I didn't know about this. I was actually talking to my sister-in-law about this morning. And being in town, I get to visit with all the family. I love it. Anyway, I know, right? Is furniture, like furniture linings, like carpets, clothing, things like that.
Sheets.
Yeah. But it's like, and when you get them new, you get new furniture. And have you ever noticed it always has like that tag that says this may contain?
Yeah.
And I never thought much of it, but it's because of the finishing things they put on it or like formaldehyde on some. And these are actually pretty toxic for you. So your little kids, you get a new couch or something and your kids are climbing all over it. And that's just getting chemicals all over them. I never knew.
Yeah, that's depressing.
I know. It's crazy. I had no idea. So yeah, it's a whole like, it's kind of crazy to think about, especially because we just recently talked about like ultra processed foods versus whole foods. And this really does make a big difference. But I was thinking of it in the context of like ingested toxins, you know what I mean? But it's a different conversation altogether. Like switching from ultra processed foods to whole foods, you do that for a different reason. Like when you're talking about environmental toxins, these 6 things are a way bigger source of toxins than like your ultra processed foods are. Not to say that they're good. I'm just saying that you're doing that for a different reason. And that's why we're covering this as a different topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another heavy hitter is receipts.
Oh yeah. We
Like anything where, and you'll see this, like we'll show you more on it, but like the receipts, like don't take a receipt, have it text you or email to you because the credit card receipts.
when they print out a receipt and hand it to you, I was just having put it in the bag,
Yeah.
but I'm going to get
I was
creative.
like,
I know. Yeah. It's like, we're going to get creative on ways. I have like little ones that go on your fingers. And I'm like, thank you.
because that is horrible for you. Those
Yeah.
are really, really bad for you. And
Yep.
and I didn't even realize how much you touch a receipt until I'm legitimately trying not to. And then I'm like, I don't know if I could go a whole day without not touching a receipt.
We go to Costco and I let my little 3-year-old hold the receipt so that she can have the guy check the receipt. And I
Yeah.
put a little smiley face on it for her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that changes that whole thing.
Yeah, because now you're giving her forever chemicals.
No, I can't do it. Like, thanks a lot, world, for ruining such a cute moment.
Another thing that was ruined for me is microwave popcorn.
Oh my gosh, I know. I was really sad when I heard about that one.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do
Like the bags.
Yeah.
One of the worst things about like the reason why like we talk about like switching from plastics to like glassware for your dishes is because you heat it up in the microwave and you're just basically cooking your food in chemicals.
Yeah.
Because like the process of heating it up actually releases more of the chemicals.
And it leaches onto your food.
Yes. I'm like, oh my, this is so crazy to think about. My whole childhood heating things up in Tupperware.
Yeah.
Like, explains a lot, actually. Oh, we're fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine. But it is crazy though that I love popcorn. I have had so much microwave popcorn in my life. And I was really sad that is one that is a huge heavy hitter on getting it. And so you want to do air popcorn or stovetop popcorn or
get
air
yourself
popper.
Popcorn popper. I can't even say that. A popcorn popcorn.
Now I go to Costco or Sam's Club and I'll just buy like bulk, like organic popcorn.
Yeah.
It's
Look, I got some of that weekend. This weekend was delicious.
Yeah. So that was a crazy one for me. Oh, another one that surprised me. Not going off on a tangent, but even like the tea bags. Like you have the tea bags.
You're drinking organic tea.
Yeah, I'm drinking organic tea. Thinking I'm doing great and all this stuff, and then it's really the glue that holds the tea bag together. When that gets hot, it's releasing the chemicals into the tea.
Well, even sometimes it's not just the glue. Sometimes there's microplastics in the tea bags themselves, depending on the brand. So it's like it's just basically a microplastic tea.
Well, if it's not the glue, then it's the bag, and you're screwed either way.
I know. Yep. So then if you can find loose leaf tea, but that's so hard to find.
Well, you have to be very intentional about it.
Yeah, I do know that there are some companies now I've been reading because I really like tea, so I've been reading labels. And there are some companies, I'll have to remember which brand it is, but they're like, there are no microplastics in this product. Like, this has been manufactured in such a way that none will be introduced to your tea or something like that. And I was like, they're unaware of the issue. So that was kind of cool.
Well, that's almost like canned food. Like I always thought I was being healthy eating canned food, but that is not actually good for you. You have to have BPA-free canned food.
Oh my
gosh. If it doesn't say that, then you need to stick with fresher frozen.
Wow. Isn't it like even so many of those cans are lined with plastic now?
Yeah.
So crazy.
So I was like, I haven't gone down that alley yet of looking at my canned goods because I kind of don't want to.
Baby steps. We're baby stepping this.
I'm just going to move more towards whole foods and frozen foods.
Yeah. Yep. That's really what you got to do.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Okay. So that leads into our game for tonight. So the game is called Fact or Myth, and we each have 2 facts or myths, and the other person has to guess. And I need a hand. If it's right, we'll give a thumbs up, a miniature thumbs up. And if it's wrong, it'll be a thumbs down, and I'll boo you.
You mean cheer me when I get right?
Yes. I will cheer, but I may also boo.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, myth or fact.
Okay.
Organic produce fixes everything.
I wish it would. It does help a lot. It definitely helps move the needle in the right direction, but I definitely do not think that it fixes everything.
So you think
it's a myth?
Yay! Yay! We're still playing with our miniature hands, guys, because they're fun. Okay, myth. It's still great, but water filters and cookware swaps offer bigger gains. Which we will talk about the things that you can start doing that are like the biggest bang for your buck for changes that you're going to make. We'll talk about that next. Okay, next one. Okay, myth or fact.
Okay.
Fragrance-free means chemical-free.
Fragrance-free means chemical-free. Yes, and it's weird to have fragrance-free deodorant, fragrance-free shampoo, fragrance-free not wearing perfume anymore.
Yeah. That one's a hard one.
Yeah. Unless it has essential oils. If it's essential oils, you can do that. But other than that, so it's interesting. And you have to check all your labels because even if it says essential oil fragrance, it still can have other toxins in it.
Yay! Yeah, that's true. Thumbs up. Yay. It is. You have to check your labels because the term fragrance in ingredients hides phthalates. So that's why when the whole like buzz around environmental toxins is your fragrances, because that's the source for so many good smelling things. So the natural sense, like vanilla can be a natural one, like citrusy things. So like you really do have to check because those things can be organically produced in a way that's not chemical. So anyway, all right, it's your turn.
Give me the thumb.
Here's the broken hand that's only a thumb.
Our kids have. Okay. Fact or myth? You need expensive detox kits to clear toxins.
Oh, that's a total myth. We both know that our bodies are the expensive detoxers.
What part of your body?
Kidney, liver, lungs, and skin.
Yeah. Good job. It definitely lowers the load and lightens it. Good job. A+. I'm impressed.
I just did all that research.
I was like, oh, I'm impressed.
Not just a hat rack, my friend.
All right, last one. All plastics are equally bad.
That is a myth because not all plastics have the harmful chemicals, right?
Yes, that is it. Yay!
Okay. And you really especially want to focus on the ones that are getting scratched and damaged. The same thing with your nonstick pans.
Yes.
As soon as there's damage, then that's just a release point for chemicals.
Yes.
Yep.
And as just like we said with the tea bags and the microwave popcorn, the heat.
Yeah.
Anytime you put heat in plastic, it doesn't do well either.
Which is crazy because of course your cookware and your Tupperwares can get scratched
Yeah.
using utensils and things over time.
I've gone through a lot of Tupperware for that. But it's interesting that Felicia uses our sister uses her microwave less and less and less now. She almost hardly uses it all because it's
so interesting
because of the consequences of it.
So I am finding myself wanting to use mine less too.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah,
Yep.
what a fun
Changes
game.
we make. Yep, that was fun. Okay. All
So
right.
now let's wrap it up and do suggestions. So like what can we do in our life to make it better or more productive?
Yes. And really, while we're talking about this point, you really have to think about, and we've used this analogy before, think about your body like your body is a bucket. And this bucket is made to hold a certain amount of toxins. Some environmental toxins are there. There are some internal toxins, like women have to cycle estrogen, right? So we produce estrogen and then we have to flush estrogen as part of our hormonal cycle. So that's why the detox pathways in our body are so intricately designed. And so when you think about your body like a bucket, there's some pouring in, you can handle it, and there's a method for you to detox it. But if there's too many faucets coming into your bucket and it starts overflowing, that's when you really start to have inflammation, oxidative stress, all of these things
Brain
popping
fog,
up in your body.
cancer,
Yes. Headaches, like all these things, right?
Mitochondrial support. Yeah.
Yes. And so when we think about that, what we want to wrap up with today is the biggest faucets that you can start to turn off in your home and in your personal life that are going to make the most difference the quickest.
Mm-hmm.
So that's leading into the list.
So our first on our list is water filtration system.
Yes.
So I listened to Dr. Hyman's podcast and he recommended AquaTrue. I loved it because they have variations, but I got the one that gets set on my counter just to start with, and I love it. And now it's almost like I can't even drink other water because I can taste the difference in it. Any would work. Any reverse osmosis type filter.
Which is what we have. So we put one under our sink, which I love because it's just a faucet I turn on. It was a pain to have it installed. But once we got it done, because we had to like drill into our countertop and do all that stuff. But love it.
Yeah.
And I use it for cooking, washing, fruit, all the things, right?
Yeah.
So that's a start. But I think we have to filter our shower, because your skin.
Well, definitely the next step up, right? Like I'm a baby step number 1.
Yes.
Like I got the counter one that I love. Then you moved up to your sink.
Yeah.
Where it filters all your dishes and all the dishwasher and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The next one would be to change out your shower heads, or you could get a whole house water filtration system.
Which seems like a crazy big change, but that's one that, because so many of the chemicals and the toxins are introduced by our water, that it's like if you're going to invest in anything, that's going to be a huge tap you're turning off that's pouring into your bucket. So I think it's worth considering. That's like a big family decision, I feel like.
Yeah.
That could make a very big difference.
Yeah. Especially if you have young kids and, they're growing and developing and they're
you don't want them early puberty is a real thing. There's so many things to think about. Early menopause apparently is a thing. So I just learned that. I know.
Hard no. And then, so that was the first one. And then the second one is just what you said earlier, switching out your pans.
Yes.
Like
stainless steel,
glass or ceramic.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then stainless steel or cast iron.
Oh yes. Cast iron.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. Because then you're going to want to ditch your plastic food
All
storage, right?
plastic
Do
food
glass
storage, glass or ceramic
or stainless steel.
or stainless steel.
Yep.
Yep. So that is it.
Yeah.
I've done that one. So that one is the hard part for me for switching on those is if I drop a glass and breaks, I'm like, oh,
So painful. You're like, no,
I know.
I can drop Tupperware whenever I want.
Yeah. It may just crack, but it doesn't go everywhere.
I know. Yeah, it's so true.
But
That
anyway,
was the first one I switched, actually. It was I
Yeah.
switched from plastic Tupperware because when I started to learn about that one, I read an article early, like back in like 2018 or something. And all I could think about every time I put Tupperware into the microwave was that I was eating chemicals. I was like, this spaghetti is now chemicals.
yeah,
You
well,
know?
that goes back to don't eat microwave dinners, don't
Yeah.
cook anything,
Yep.
and you dump it in a glass bowl and then microwave it.
And again, this is still is like we're talking about progress, not perfection. We're just talking about the faucets that you could turn off first. And so that's a really good change to make. But it doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect about it. You can
No.
still heat up your plastic Tupperware tomorrow. You'll be okay.
Yep. So number 3 is shifting your food storage as quickly as you can to glass storage.
Yep.
And even if you go to a grocery store and you get, the plastic container of like strawberries, take that out of the plastic, put it in a glass jar. So the longer it sits in the plastic, it will leach more of the plastic
But you want to
toxins.
wash them in either baking soda or vinegar anyway.
Yep.
So
while you're doing that.
yes. Yep.
And then number 4 is what we talked about earlier. Go fragrance free in your personal care and your laundry because fragrance means toxins.
Okay, so I'm going to be real about this one. I do not want to go fragrance free. So what I do, it's just I like pretty smelling things, right? But there are naturally pretty smelling things, flowers, things like that. So Yuka is really great for this because I've actually gone to like Sephora and places like this, and I spent like an hour scanning perfumes. And there are a few perfumes that actually scored in the 90s. So the chemicals that are known to create issues are missing when they use natural methods of pretty smells.
Well, I do think that the more the public becomes aware of this and
Yeah.
it starts shifting the demands of the need, then they will start creating more healthy things. So I do think that it's turning the needle and moving the needle towards a more healthy environment in general.
Yeah. And a couple of companies have already switched because I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I like the smell of this perfume. And so I bought it because I was like, I like the smell and it scored well. It doesn't have any of those things that are in all the other perfumes. So there is still hope for smelling nice. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to be real here, guys. And I am on the hunt for all of those things.
And then, as we talked about earlier, whole food or frozen food versus canned food.
Yep. And cutting fast food. Right.
And
because
food's
fast food, what I follow several women on social media where they literally get fast food and they third party test it. And they send it to a lab to get tested and the amount of like heavy metals they found in it and crazy stuff. I'm like, it makes me so sad because the kids love eating out. But all I can think about is, okay, let's go pick up, your treat that's just poison.
Well, in Good Energy, one of the quizzes, not the environmental toxins, but one of the maybe it's the food quiz. It says like how often do you eat out? Because if you eat out, you're guaranteed
to be getting toxins.
Even if you get a salmon and it's like a farm raised salmon versus a wild caught salmon, like you're getting all sorts of toxins in that way. And so it's like,
it does get overwhelming the further you dive into it.
It really
but
is.
honestly, just trying to cut the amount of fast food that you have, that's an easy faucet. Not easy, but like a major faucet.
So light, and it's helpful for your health too. So it's a win-win.
It is. Eat healthier, have less toxins. Your body's going to do better. Your kids are going to do better. Your parents are going to do better. Whatever your situation is. So, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Any more?
Nope, that's it.
One.
Those are the top.
Okay, so there you go. That's at least a place to start. We wanted to make this a little bit more approachable because it is very overwhelming. I think we will cover this more in the future, but it's like, hey, let's at least stop the flooding a little bit and then we can just figure out what to do from there. But just, giving your body a little helping hand is what we're talking about.
So, love yourself enough to say no to things.
Yeah.
Or do
absolutely.
the switch.
And with our own health journey, it's been crazy. And so honestly, yet again, this is our journey. We want to help you know your body, take ownership of your health. And we want to do it one biohack at a time, one health and wellness thing at a time. And we're here for you all the way. And we will catch you guys next time.
If this episode has resonated with you and you want to share it with somebody that you love, feel free to share it and like it so we can keep on doing this.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Thank you so much. Sweet Caroline.
Okay.
Times have never
Seemed so good. So good.
so good. And it is, what did we call it?
Myth or... Well, I do think that the more the public becomes aware of this, and
Yeah.
then it starts shifting the public, the store,
The demands,
the
right?
demands. And if you like this, share it, or if it's clicked in with you at all, share it with somebody that you...
Yes. Yep. Any woman in your life who has made you think of, okay,
Start again. I know. I messed it all up.
I said it backwards too. All right, you wellness rock stars. That's a wrap on this episode of My Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. We've had a blast dishing out the hacks and laughs, but hold up, let's keep it real.
Yep, we are not doctors. We are just sharing our biohacking adventures and learning right alongside you. Nothing we say is medical advice, so always, always check with your healthcare provider before trying any new wellness tricks.
Absolutely. This podcast is all about inspiration and entertainment, not prescriptions. So join our Facebook group for more sassy wellness vibes. Catch you next time.